2.4, write equations of lines. Vocabulary, point-slope formula. The point-slope form is given by this formula, a y minus y1 equals ilm times x minus x1. So, with this formula, you need to figure out your slope ilm, and then you need to have 2 points that you can plug in, y1, x1. Notice the signs are negative here, and they need to stay negative. So if you have a, well, I'll just show you as we go. So write an equation of a line. Use slope-intercept form, given slope ilm and y-intercept b. Use this equation, y equals ilm x plus b. Use point-slope formula. You can use y minus y1 equals ilm, parentheses, and remember the parentheses, x minus x1. If you have 2 points, first, use the slope formula to find ilm, then use point-slope formula with either point. Doesn't matter which one you choose, it'll come up with the same answer. So example 1, write an equation of a line giving the slope and the y-intercept. For a graph, you can see what's the slope? Well, how many do we go down to get to the green point? 1, 2, 3. So it's -3 since it's down. Now how many do we go across? 2. Okay, the y-intercept is b, so where does it cross the y-line? At 1. And then we're going to just put it straight into the slope-intercept form. So y equals -3/2 x plus 1. So we're going to substitute -3/2 for ilm and 1 for b. So this is the easiest way that we can do this. Okay, example 2. Write an equation giving the slope in a point. So this time we don't have the graph, but we know the slope is 2 and a point is 2, 1. So I am going to go ahead and say that x1, y1 is 2, 1, and ilm is 2. So I'm going to use a point-slope formula, y minus whatever y1 will be, which is 1. And then I fill in 2 for my slope, x minus 2. I'm going to go ahead and simplify this out using the distributive property. So y minus 1 equals 2x minus 4. I'm going to add 1 to both sides to get y equals 2x minus 3. And that's in slope-intercept form. Technically, I could go ahead and leave it like this. It's just not as clean, nice form as going ahead and simplifying it further. Okay, write equations of parallel or perpendicular lines. Write an equation of a line that passes through -1, 1, is parallel to, and b perpendicular to the line -2x plus 3. So the given line has a slope of -2. Line to it that is parallel to it must have a slope ilm2 equals ilm1, so that's going to equal -2 also. A line perpendicular to a line with a slope ilm2 must equal 1 over, or -1 over ilm2. So it has a slope of, flip it over upside down, and then change the sign. So -2 becomes positive 1/2. So I'm going to use a point-slope formula with the point -1, 1 to write an equation of a line. So y minus 1, y1, equals the slope 2, -2, times x minus x1. Okay, so this is where you have to be careful with these signs because minus and minus together will make a plus. So A is y equals, that kind of skipped a lot of steps there, didn't they? So let's say y minus 1 equals negative 2x, and then this is plus, so negative 2. Now I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So y equals negative 2x minus 1. And that is my line parallel to my other line. On B, I want my line perpendicular to it. So I am going to use the same point, 1, negative 1, but this time I'm going to use my flipped over opposite for my slope. So it's going to be 1/2 here. So it will turn out to be y minus 1 equals 1/2 of x, and then this is plus 1, so plus 1/2. And then I add 1 to both sides. It will be y equals 1/2 x plus 3/2. Sample 4. Write an equation giving 2 points. Write an equation through the line through point 3, 1 and point 2, negative 3. So first thing I need to do is find my slope. So negative 3 minus 1 over 2 minus 3. That'll equal negative 4 over negative 1, which equals a positive 4. I'm going to put it back into my point slope formula. Y minus y1. Now it doesn't matter again which one I use. So out of these 2 points up here, which one is easier to use? Well, probably my positive points. Positive is just always nice. So y minus 1 equals 4, x minus 3. I'm going to go ahead and simplify this to be y minus 1 equals 4x minus 12. Add 1 to both sides to get y equals 4x minus 11. And that's my final answer. Okay, for your checkpoint on number 1, first figure out the slope. So go ahead and use 2 points. That goes through pretty nice to figure out your slope. And fill in y equals whatever your slope is. And then wherever it crossed that y-axis. You'll have to clean up the signs because you'll have the plus minus 3. So it'll just be something x minus 3. And on 2, go ahead and use the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 formula. Because you have a slope of negative 2, and you have x's and y's that you can put in, and then simplify it out to points or slope intercept form. Okay, on 3, you need to, for the A, figure out the slope for the parallel, so your m will be the same slope that it was, and then use your y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 formula with either, or with this point, and then on B, your slope will turn out to be flipped over opposite, so minus 1/4, and then you're going to use the same formula. On 4, find your slope first using the formula m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then stick that slope in either point. I would suggest this one since they're both positive. Into the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 formula.